Okay people, what up? So this is our second video about converting decimals into fractions. Now in the last video, we learned how to convert a terminating decimal into a fraction or a simplified fraction. Today we will be working with repeating decimals. Now repeating decimals are a little bit different, okay? They could get tricky, but I'm going to show you a trick that would always work when we're dealing with repeating decimals. So let's copy this down if you were absent on your notebook. So number one, we have 0.3 repeating. So this is a repeating decimal. Now, if you were here in class, we used a calculator, and I told you to type in various fractions into the calculator so you guys could see the pattern that you would observe when converting a repeating decimal into a fraction. A fraction into a decimal. So, for example, I told you guys to type in 8/9 in the calculator, and then you guys should have gotten 0.8 repeating. And then I was like, okay, now type in 13/99 into a calculator, and then you guys should have gotten 0.13 repeating. Okay? And then I asked you guys, okay, what patterns do you guys notice? And then all of you guys, the majority of you guys said, well, we get repeating decimals, which is awesome. Okay, and then I said, well, be more specific. What do these fractions share? They both share something. And then you guys started talking about the nines on the denominator. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's nines on the denominator, you will always get a repeating decimal. Usually, your numerator will be that number and behind the decimal, and those are going to be the digits that are repeating. Once again, if you have nines on the denominator, that means you will get a repeating decimal. And then I told you this trick. Well, it's not a trick, but just it's a saying. I went like, oh, repeating decimals, like going to the 99-cent store. Well, the reason why is, well, the 99-cent store has nines all over it. Okay, so that's the way you can remember that a repeating decimal will always have nines on the denominator. So let's go ahead and attack this one now. And it's the same way that we solved the other problem with terminating decimals. You look at the last digit, you look at the place value. In this case, the place value is in the tens place, okay? So therefore, it's going to be 3/10. Perfect. If it was a terminating decimal like this, if we took away the repeating symbol, that's awesome. That's your answer. But in this case, we have a repeating decimal. Where do repeating decimals like going shopping? They like going shopping to the 99-cent store. I need to have some 9 here at the bottom. The only thing you do is subtract the denominator by 1. So therefore, it's going to be 3 nines. And right there, if you type that up into the calculator, you will get 0.3 repeating, and that's your answer. You're done. Okay? But it might, remember at the end, you always ask yourself, can you reduce? And hopefully you'll say, yeah, you could actually reduce this. You could actually reduce this by 3. Divided by 3, divided by 3, so therefore it's 1/3. Okay, and if you type in 1/3, you will still get that 0.3 repetition. Okay, this is how you convert a repeating into a fraction. Okay, and this is repeating decimals are your rational numbers that we've been talking about as well. Let's do another one. These are easy. Okay, if you just remember the hint that I tell you, you're pretty much going to get everything correct. That's repeating, and you know what? Let's make that a 5. So here, clearly, you see that you have a repeating decimal, okay? You have a whole number, repeating decimal. Don't be scared of the whole number. Remember, we always ignore the whole number at the beginning, okay? So the whole number, you can put it in if you want right away. That's what some of the students were doing. Now, look at the last digit, which is a 5. What place value is that 5 in? Hopefully you say it's a hundreds place. Remember that's tens? That's hundreds. Okay, so then it's going to be 25/100. Ladies and gentlemen, if the problem looked like this, then yes, this would be the answer. Then you simplify that and you will get 1/4. But in this case, you do have a repeating decimal. Okay, when you have repeating decimals, remember the trick? You want to have some nines on the denominator. Okay, the nines in the denominator always make repeating decimals. Simple. Subtract 1 from the denominator, and the majority of the time you do subtract 1, just letting you know. So it's going to be 525 over 99. Ladies and gentlemen, can you simplify this? Remember, there's 3 numbers that I like using. 2, 3, 5. 2 doesn't go into 25 or 99. 3 goes into 99, but it doesn't go into 25. 5 goes into 25, but not 99. So in this case, you're done. That's it. Your answer is 525 over 99. If you type this up to the calculator, you should be getting this as your answer. Again, repeating decimals have some 9s on the denominator, and that's it. Let's do one more, and that's it. Okay, let's do this one. 3, negative 6, 0, 0, 7. And let's say that this piece right here is repeating. Okay, all that chunk. Okay, easy. Okay, that's your whole number. A lot of students just like writing the whole number right away. Okay, what place value is this 7 in? Well, that's the tens, hundreds, thousands. So it's going to be 7 over 1,000. Good. If you would have erased this repeating symbol, that's your answer. But in this case, we do have repetition. Remember, repeating decimals like going to the 99-cent store. We need some 9s down here. So the way you can get 9s is by subtracting by 1. So therefore, your final answer is negative 6, 7, 999. If you type that up in a calculator, you would end up getting this right here. Okay? So that would be your answer for that one. That's how you do repeating decimals. Now, if you still don't understand, let's compare a terminating with a repeating decimal, just so that you can see the difference. So we have 2.3, okay, versus 2. Technically, it's not 2.3. I'm sorry. That's not how you say it. It's 2 3/10. Okay, 2 3/10 with the 3 repeat. So this is a terminating decimal that's repeating. Okay, let's turn these into fractions. So I know that this is on the tens place. That's my whole number. So that's my whole number. 3 to the tens place. Is this decimal repeating? No, it's not. This is a terminating. So I'm not going to subtract anything on the denominator. So that's it. That is my answer. Okay, boom. Let's look at this one. This one has a repeating symbol. Okay, so I put my whole number 2. It's 3 tenths. Same thing. Notice it's the same thing. But since it's repeating, I need to have some 9s up in here. Okay, so I'm going to subtract, or on the denominator. Subtract 1 on the denominator. So it's going to be 2 3/9. Okay, obviously you could simplify it 2 1/3, but I just want you guys to see the difference. Okay, when it's terminating, you just convert it like a normal decimal, like normal fraction, like we normally do. But when it's repeating, there has to be some sort of 9, unless you could simplify it. Well, in this case, it's 2 1/3. Then it's the same thing. Okay, so that's how you convert a repeating decimal into a fraction. Remember, subtract 1 on the denominator. You have to have 9s on the denominator. Remember the trick? Repeating decimals want to go to the 99-cent store. And that's it for this one.